Good morning, beautiful souls. Happy Wednesday. It's so hard to keep track of the days of the week. Everything's been going by so fast lately with this full moon and everything. It just feels like we're manifesting and everything is just getting really fast. And with that, I just want to make sure to grab a couple quick decks of cards because I promised someone I would pull a card reading for them if they showed up today. And while I'm waiting for people, I just want to start with what I was going to talk about today. Today, it all is about healing in layers. And healing in layers, that came in a couple of years ago when I first started to really work with the quantum. And I realized that it just feels like we're working, it's like activating in an onion. Good morning. And it feels like we heal almost like aspects of an onion, but then it connects because we are very similar. We work just like it's like a connection with nature, with Mother Nature. And um we work is it's like a uh, it's just the same effect. So everything you see in nature we do as well, and you can see all over in nature spirals if you really look. Mother Nature shows us spirals everywhere. And so when you we I started to really start to connect and work with the Akashics and work on people's um, their their healing as far as like touching in on all of our different aspects of um, trauma. We all have, it feels like the rings of a tree because it's all in spirals. It feels like spirals. So when it feels like, okay, well, we would just go back to center. Well, no, in essence, we just continue to go back to other lifetimes in reality, it feels like we just go back to other variations of other lifetimes when we heal because we touch base on all these other aspects when we're healing. So it's like yes, we were healing our wounds from this lifetime, but we all are also touching in with our other ancestral lifetimes as well. So even if you don't believe in reincarnation, we still connect with our mother and our father and our grandparents and our great grandparents. And so if you spent time with any of those people, they had a, a relationship with you. And so they're going to have had an effect on your upbringing. And so those people will have had a effect on how you were as a small child, and their lifetimes, their lineage will affect your you on a subconscious level. And so that comes into play when we're doing healing. And so when we do healing, we can actually heal those aspects as well. In the quantum, it's really kind of interesting. It's really cool. But then we can also, and that kind of goes back, and it's really neat. So when you are having like in the first, and it usually touches base with the first like 3 to 7 years of your life, sometimes up to 9. So those, because those are the years that you feel kind of almost like in a hypnotic state, because we're really connected, or it feels like we're just really in pre disposed to our parents and our grandparents and whatever the environment is. So, in that period of time, if something traumatic happened to you, it's going to have affected you more than, say, another time period. Not to say that your teenage years or your 20s or something like that could not have traumatized you. In fact, there's times when I go into quantum healing and I will have picked up other times in people's life. I'll be like, well, there's a teenage time period, or there's some time period in their 20s that needs healing. But what I do try and do is go back to the very first time they have had trauma. And the reason I do that is because when we can go back to the very first time, that puts the most impact on the field. That gives us the most, because when we can do that, we can, it's like going to the plant and creating, pulling by the root, or healing at the very, very root of that plant. Because we all work with Mother Nature. And so we're very similar to that. So if you can go to that, and a lot of people, that's very hard to do because it's like, whoa, something happened and I don't really want to touch that. This is something that's kind of painful or icky or whatever. And honestly, I get that. There has been times in my first 7 years that were extremely painful for me. When I was a young child, I was burned. I had third-degree burns, and I was in the hospital. There's been time periods in my first 7 years of life that I had a lot of different traumas, that I was abused. I had a lot of different abuses, went through different abuse, and in order to activate and heal those trauma, in order to become who I am today, I had to go back, touch that stuff. I was sexually abused in the first 7 years of my life. So I had to go back and touch that, and feel that, and then give that the energy. And then after that, I was able to finally give not only the person who did that um, the ease and grace. I was able to forgive them. Now, I'm not even asking you guys to do that, but if you guys can give yourself the love that you didn't have at that point, it is so profound. Because most of the time, when we are going through something, whether, for example, when I was a young child and I was third-degree burned, I felt very much abandoned. And so what I did is I went back and I gave that, little girl, a year and a half, 1.5-year-old little girl who was third-degree burned, the love she needed for being abandoned and scared. And so as I gave that aspect, that love, gave that little girl that love, I was able to finally start healing that aspect. Now and that's extremely, difficult sometimes to do on your own. So that is where we do these things in quantum healing, or we do this in the group therapy or the one-on-one therapy, because it's extremely, not only is it extremely powerful, but it's also extremely eh, complex and difficult. But when you're going through these things, you might experience things like physical. wounds. Your body is going to show you that, there's going to be issues. Like, I didn't know that that was the problem, but for example, when you're having a wound, you might have a stomach ache. There's times when you are having these different problems, and you're going to be shown in other ways, because there's going to be physical issues that are going to occur with a lot of these things, stomach aches or intestinal pain, um, kidney problems, heart problems. These are all indicative of having something underneath. You know, these are all telling you, hey, there's something else going on underneath. Even tooth pain, believe it or not, headaches, all of these things are telling us, hey, we've got something going on. This is our higher self. This is our subconscious telling us we've got something else going on. Um, there's so many different liver problems, liver pain, but believe it or not, liver is one of the last things that to tell us. The liver, it doesn't alert us until almost the very end. So it's more like the heart or the bladder. The bladder is really great because the bladder will tell us when we are experiencing too much fear in our field. The so all these things, our stomach is a great um mechanism to tell us that, hey, something's off here. All these our body is designed to explain to us, hey, there's other there's other signals that are not synapsing, because these are lower chakras. All these things are our lower chakras for the most part, not our teeth, obviously, but our teeth are connected with all our joints, ligaments, organs, everything. And so we think, oh, our teeth are just in our mouth, and they're connected to everything through our spine and everything in the back. So all those stuff down below it's like our warning system that we're having a block. And most of the time we've been conditioned to just take something. But what I have learned is to balance it through energy and food, healthy food like fruits and vegetables and herbs, and then and balancing it with energy can be extremely productive, and it shows us what the real underlying issue is, so we can resolve that and heal and align ourselves and become so much stronger in the long run. So that is what quantum healing does. And the group coaching is basically to work with you on a longer term, so you have those tools to use indefinitely. So that's the difference between them. And it's just, as I have learned more and more, I just keep adding to these courses because I feel other people should be empowered just as much. And I am not seeing my friend that said she was coming today for her reading, but I will just pull one for her just in case she shows up later. So I will um, see. Um, okay, her cards. You are protected. Archangel Michael is here for you to use. Yeah, I'm feeling he's just very present in the field in general, and that you're to use the aspects of like for the next 4 weeks to connect with self love and really develop that within yourself because that's going to be really prevalent, especially during the Mercury retrograde. But even just onward into the new year, the more you can feel that self love and forget I'm feeling about all these other people and what they think of you and how they connect, the more you are going to find your own inner power. You're more, I'm hearing your own inner peace. That's the words they're using, your own inner peace to release all those thoughts, that other thought patterns, that, and to find your own inner peace and to connect with the miracles of nature because Mother Nature, being with plants, is going to also help release all those thought patterns and just bring you back to center, is what I'm also hearing. So it's going to just kind of like ground you, bring you back, find your own connection with peace and the divine, but also Mother Nature. So it's going to be just like kind of ground you in and find your and clear your thoughts because I'm hearing that you're just kind of like distracted by all these other things, and you just need to kind of come in and feel you. Love you right now and not worry about all those other people or what they're doing or all that other stuff because it's not it's not you. It's not for you and not even to worry about it. So, with that, I'm sending you guys all so much love and I will talk to you soon.